relationships, channels, and all of these things. This is basically pretty much, what we are going to be doing here, right? Uh, okay, so we still got pretty much interesting things coming through. All right. So let's see what business would be most relatable. I'm looking for a business that is going to be that can cut across boundaries and become very relatable for everybody to be able to really get, understand. So let me see. Career guidance. Interesting. Um, Omari, is Omari on the call? Are you in a very quiet environment where you can talk? Mari, are you in a very quiet environment where you can talk? Just open the microphone and just say something. Just say hi.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Hi.
Good morning or good afternoon.
Yeah. So tell us, what's the inspiration behind your business, your startup, or whatever you call it? You know, what's the inspiration?
Um, well, I noticed around me that perhaps when people are looking for perhaps people to do blue collar jobs like electricians or cleaners or that sort of thing, um, it can be hard a bit to reach out to them or to find them in the first place. And then even then, you're going to reach out to them based on maybe word of mouth of whoever is referring you to them. So there is no real way to get a general idea of, okay, this is the general capability of this person. This is the general reputation of this person. So I I had an idea to create a platform that would make it easier to reach out to these people and um there should be or there will be a rating system implemented and a review system so that while reaching out to these people there's like they have reviews so you can gauge based on their past performance whether you want to request them to take on your task or not. And the target market I had in mind was busy professionals or maybe the
Hmm.
elderly or the sick, people who just have a lot
Okay.
going on and they can't get to a lot of things at the same time.
All right. So we're gonna get to all of that in a bit. So moderator, please, what you do for me is all of those people that have, put in their business definitions. Please just take a list, note the list of them. I'm going to be personally reviewing their business model canvas. So once they get you their business model canvas, you can I'll give you my email address. You can forward it to me. I'm going to review. So if you sent in your your definitions, rest assured, I'm actually going to personally take my time to review when you create your business model canvas, review all of them and also give you feedback and adjustments. Right. So we're going to move along, Omari. We're going to have a conversation, and please, everybody, um, flow in with us. Let's do this together, and you know, we all learn. That's why we're here. We're here to learn. Right. Okay. So we're going to get started from you know um, from the customer segment. Right. You know, who do we want to serve? Do you understand? So, pretty much, there's really no, where do somebody might be asking, okay, where do I get started on the business model canvas? What do I feel first? Um, you know, what do I, where do I start from? Do I start from revenue streams? Do I start from this? Um, I think simply you could just follow the outline that I've drawn up here of customer segments, value propositions, channels, and that can get you going. You can also start from the customer segments and value propositions are actually interchangeable. There's no fixed, there's no law there, but it just helps you ensure that you get your thought in place. So we're going to look at customer segments. Do you understand? You mentioned that you've got um, I think busy professionals in mind. So let's see how we can narrow that down a bit more. And please confirm everyone if you can see my screen and if I'm audible. I just want to ensure that nobody misses out. I'm audible.
Yes, you are.
All right.
Yes, sir,
Thank
you're
you.
audible.
So, Omari, now let's do this. Let's define what is your customer segment. So you said elderly. Elderly people is a bit more generic. What kind of elderly people is your solution live? First of all, are you currently serving customers, or is this just an idea that you still have?
No, it's just an idea for now.
Okay. Um, so let's start with the busy professionals, right? So who would we define as
Okay.
the average busy professional, right? Who do we define as the average busy professional? So I could say something like, this is a busy professional. So we have um, a corporate employee, something. So a corporate employee uh, with a 9 to 5 job, a 9 to 5, that works 9 to 5. And it's a corporate employee that works 9 to 5 with two with a young family, or single. So let's start with single. Works 9 to 5, single, and lives in Lagos. Now, can you observe the difference between saying a a busy professional and putting it in much more descriptive way? We're saying, oh, I think my customer segment is going to be a corporate employee that works 9 to 5, who is single and lives in Lagos. Do you know that you cannot imagine that person? Do you live in Lagos?
No, I don't.
So where do you stay?
I stay in Ibadan.
Okay, so we still put Ibadan there. Now, when I put Ibadan, does anybody come to your mind? Somebody that works a 9 to 5 job, probably is probably single and lives in Ibadan. Does anybody come to your mind? Do you know anybody that does a 9 to 5 job, is single, lives in Ibadan?
Nobody comes to mind right now. Most of the people I know live in Lagos or Abuja.
Okay, so probably location doesn't matter, but what their lifestyle is like, right? They leave early in the morning, they come back late at night. You know, if the person is not an extremely clean person, you know, the person's inside house is going to be a mess. Do you understand? Doing the dishes, all
Yeah.
of those small, minute works are going to be very taxing and very draining. Do you understand? So when you when you
Yes.
want to define your customer segment, don't just say students. I can bet you that all students are not your customers. You need to be able to give a description of your your customer segment that you can be able to picture and say, okay, this is the person that I actually want to reach out to. So that is how you can define your customer segment. So let's put another one. So try for the elderly. Give a much more descriptive, definition for the elderly that you're talking about. That is going to be key. Remember, this is just an hypothesis. You are making a hypothesis that you are still going to test out later to see if it's actually going to work. So, so talk to me. Let's try out for the elderly. So how would you define, or you're making an assumption what kind of elderly person do you feel like would be a good fit for, what you have in mind to build?
Mm, I would say perhaps a retiree over 65 years old
Mm-hmm.
who might be struggling with an ailment and is unable to do a lot of things by themselves
Mm-hmm. Okay.
and whose family is far away, so they live alone.
So a man, let's say a man, a woman, or let's say a person over the age of 65 or 65, um, that is sick and has no near family. Right? So, a person over the age of 65 that is sick and has no near family, or somebody family is not near, or stuff like that. So, a very key element is you need to be able to really define your customer segment, give them certain characteristics that you have. Do you understand? So that is based on demographic details. What we've looked at currently now is that we've looked at demographic details. Now, there's another part of defining your customer segment that has to do with behavioral dynamics. Now, for example, let's try this. So let's say you sell chocolate, right? You sell chocolate and you want to go market your chocolate, to two people in an office, right? You want to sell chocolate. Let's say your colleagues, you work in an office, you just got imported this new chocolate, you test it, it's amazing, and you're like, oh, I can make money out of this by selling it to other people. And you go to your colleague's office, there are two in the office, and you want to sell them chocolate, right? And then you know a bit of information about those two people. Do you understand? You know that one, everybody eats chocolate except very few people, maybe due to health reasons. But I don't think there's anybody that'll say, "Oh, I don't like chocolate." So everybody likes chocolate, but there are people that like it more than others. There are people that they eat chocolate every single week. If they don't take a chocolate every single week, they feel like they are dying. But there are people that, oh, if somebody gives me chocolate, I would appreciate you. I love it. Thank you. But it won't just ring in my head that I actually have to go and get a chocolate bar. So you know that one of your colleagues in that office, one of them, they both like chocolate. If you give them chocolate, they would eat, right? They most likely would buy chocolate. They most likely would buy, right? Uh, but one of them, you know that this person really eats chocolate, but you know that the other person is a fan, is an avid fan of chocolate. Now, when you get into that office, who do you talk to first? Mari, you want to talk to me? Who do you talk to first?
The avid fan of chocolates.
They have a fan of chocolate, right? Because if this person that loves chocolate does not want to buy chocolate, then you know it means that other person has a much more lesser chance of buying that chocolate. So that's the same thing about defining your customer segment. When you define your customer segment, you set, you know, demographic details. Oh, this person stays in Lagos. This person is over the age of 65. This person is retired. This person is, you know, those are things. But what is very key element is adding behavioral dynamics. When you add behavioral dynamics to your customer segmentation, you can be able to really focus and hone in on who you believe is actually going to be key for your product. Do you understand? So, and that's what I was not going to talk a lot about behavioral dynamics because that might complicate things a bit. But I think we could just start with where you have what behavioral dynamics, helps you really hone down on your customer segment. For example, we have this demographic details of this person, of the elderly. If I want to have a behavioral dynamics, I'll add that this person stays alone. This person does not like much human interaction or doesn't relate with a lot of people. This person does not relate with a lot of people. I can guarantee that that person is going to have a lot more difficulty to be able to get those little things have sorted out. People that They don't really have so much family close by, but can they always talk to people around them and say, okay, help me get this thing, or help me buy this thing, or help me do this in the market, or do that in the market that, that makes it make sense. Do you understand? So behavioral dynamics will be like, oh, this person does not relate much with neighbors. If this person doesn't relate much more with neighbors, it means that this problem is going to be intensified for that person. So meaning that, okay, yes, maybe every other person in this demographic will feel the problem more, but this person will feel the problem more. Or maybe the person just moved into a new location, doesn't know anybody, hasn't talked to anybody before, doesn't know the environment, doesn't know who to trust. That behavioral dynamics alone can enable me focus on and say, okay, this person is going to be key, for this problem. So I think I'm going to add one more here. So a family, a young family that's recently relocated to a new new place in Lagos, right? Usually, if you're defining your customer segment, you want to start with the locations around you. So we could just keep it in the move to a new place in Ibadan, right? Ibadan, with both parents actively working. So this is another customer segment I've added. A young family that recently located to a new place in Ibadan, both of the parents actively working. So if both of them are actively working, it means that they have way lesser time to be able to focus on these small things and they want to take it off their hands. So we're just going to start with these three customer segments. This is not sacrosanct, meaning that it's not permanent. Do you understand? Remember, what we are doing here is that we're just laying down hypotheses. Once we lay down this hypothesis, we're going to test out those hypotheses. And when we see that, oh, we've talked to 100 families that are young, both parents actively working, and they have a way of figuring it out, and they don't need our solution. We're going to eliminate them from our business model canvas, add in a new customer segment, or focus on the remaining ones that we actually do have. You understand? So basically, that's pretty much the approach. So does that make sense, Omari? Do you get?
Yes, I understand.
So if the rest of us, just give me a thumbs up if you actually do understand. You can also comment in the chat. You know, how is it going for you? Are you in line? Are you moving with us? Are we together? Are we on track? Uh, are we on track? Right? Yes, we are on track. Okay. Let's just say we are together. Of course, we are together. Right. Okay. So moving forward, I just really I'm going to roll across the rest because then we have value propositions, right? So we've defined what our customer segment. Now we're going to match our value propositions to what we are providing. So tell us again, what are you providing for this set of people? Do you understand? What are you providing for this set of people? What is the common problem that they all have that your value proposition is going to be solving for?
My idea provides a platform for users to connect with people that offer certain services with ease in a way that can guarantee their reputation and performance and integrity.
Okay, so is it just the normal blue collar stuff? Is it all type of tasks? Maybe I want somebody to fetch bucket of water. I can get somebody to fetch bucket of water for me. I need somebody to go run an errand. I can get somebody to run an errand for me. What exactly what's the range of basically what you're doing? Are you there? Am I still audible?
Yes, yes, you are. I think Omari's network.
Oh, that's
Omari,
interesting.
can you hear us?
So, say on the business, on the customer segment, do you understand? So, Murray, the problem that these people have is that they don't have the ability to do their little tax. You know, there's a corporate employee that works 9 to 5, lives in Ibadan. There's a person with, over the age of 65 that is sick and has no near family. Um, there's a young family that recently relocated to a new place in Ibadan with both of the parents actively working. So, what we're just going to outline is what are the pain points that they all share? What are these pain points that they actually all share? So, when we look at the pain points that they actually do share. We're going to see that they lack the time to address small tasks, small day-to-day tasks at home. So they like the time to address the small day-to-day tasks that they need to get done at home. They also so what's another pain point that they all commonly share is that they're unable to reach to get trusted maintenance um, care workers or something like that. Just define it that way. So we're defining the problem that they have. So all of these customer segments, what is the common problem that they actually all have? Basically, corporate employee that works 9 to 5, person over the age of 65 that is sick and has only a family, a young family that recently relocated to a new place in Ibadan, both of the parents actively working. The pain point is that they don't have the time to address small day-to-day tasks at home. They're able to get people that they trust. Trust is a very big problem. Trusted maintenance care workers, or however they define those kind of people that can actually, address those things, right? So they don't have the time themselves, and they're also probably unable to get other people that can do it for them. So we're going to look at the value proposition. So what's the value proposition that we're actually bringing in for these people to be able to address the problem that they have? So I'm just going to make it smaller. So what are the value propositions? So if I remember Omari correctly, she said she's building a platform that helps our customers find people to do small do small tasks. Okay, let me make this smaller so it's visible. So helps platform helps our customers find people around them to to handle tasks, to do small tasks, to handle tasks, it's very different. To handle tasks from small day-to-day activities to home repairs and maintenance. So our platform helps our customers do what? Helps our customers find people around them to handle tasks from small day-to-day activities to home repair and maintenance. Now we're going to check um, for each of these people if the solution that we've actually provided actually works for them. Do you understand? So we have that a platform helps these customers find people around them to handle tasks, day-to-day activities, home repairs, and maintenance. So what problem does this address? So there's the issue of time. So there's the issue of time. So these people don't have the time to address the small day-to-day tasks at home. They're also unable to get trusted maintenance care workers or home workers that's going to handle all of these things. And I also say that, oh, they're also concerned about costs. Probably this guy, as a corporate employee, is not going to care about cost. But this person that is over the age of 65, that is sick and has no near family, is very much going to be concerned about cost. A young family that recently relocated, they're also going to be concerned about cost as well as the time and being unable. So the value propositions of this stuff that we're outlining is going to getting tax done through our platform is is less faster, cheaper, and safer. So the problem we've addressed is that what we are providing is faster, cheaper, and actually better. So solution is a platform that helps our customers find people around them to handle tasks from small day-to-day activities to home repair and maintenance. And also the people that get tasks done through our platform, it is better, faster, and also cheaper. So faster, cheaper, and actually safer. Do you understand? So in the value proposition, you want to communicate what is the key thing that makes your product stand out, that makes your product actually stand out. What is the unique thing that you actually do have that will make your product stand out in the market? So if you're in the market whereby there are 20 other products, how does your product stand out? So if your product is faster, it is cheaper, and it's safer, doing these things already, you already have an advantage over your um, your competitors. So let's say we're now going to add what we call the unique value proposition. So what is the unique value proposition that we have here currently? So I might say that a solution which uh, is a solution is 10 times affordable, 10 times cheaper than alternatives. It's a very huge, value proposition that we actually do have. So a solution will be 10 times cheaper than alternatives if we use this our platform to help these people get tax done in a faster, cheaper, and safer way. Does that make sense? Do we have questions? Or do we move along? So if you want me to move along, just type in the chat, move along, move along, move along. Let's keep the train rolling. Or if you have questions, um, before we start diving into the other things, the most critical elements are understanding your customer segmentation and understanding your value proposition. For customer segmentations, you don't just want to give generic group names, students, um, businesses. That is too generic. You want to be able to define specifically what your target or your customer segment is. Oh, I want to reach businesses. What kind of business? Oh, I want to sell. Um, I'm selling. I sell modest wares to people between the ages of 18 to 35 who have strong beliefs in their religion. You understand? Or who want to adhere to the guidelines of their religion. Ensure that they're in guidelines with their religion. That is a customer segment. Do you understand? That is a good customer segment. So you don't want to say something like, "Oh, I want to sell modesty wears to all women." Not all women like it. Not all women will buy it. Do you understand? So being able to define your customer segment helps you ensure that you don't waste a lot of energy when you're not meeting the right people. The next, we've looked at value proposition. The value proposition, basically. Value proposition is about, oh, I've seen these pain points that these people have. What is my solution going to do to address that pain point? That's where you talk about value creation. So we've made the hypothesis from our customer segments. We said that, oh, they do not have the time, they don't find people that they can trust. Trust is an issue for them, and also cost is also an issue for them. Do you understand? And therefore, our unique value proposition is that ours is faster, it is cheaper, and it's actually safer. In fact, ours is going to be 10 times cheaper than already existing alternatives, which gives us a very um, good starting point for our business. Right. So moving along, um, we're going to look at channels. Remember what we defined as our business model canvas is where you what create. Do you understand? You deliver. You capture value. So here we are in this place of what we've created the value. This is the value that we've created. Now we now have to look at delivering. How do we deliver this value? How do we ensure this value is going to get to our customers? There are people that sell through Jumia, there are people that sell through Conga, there are people that sell on their WhatsApp status, there are people that sell on Instagram. There are people that I know that have done millions of naira on just Instagram. They don't sell on any other platform. They only use Instagram to sell, and have made millions of naira selling via Instagram alone, right? So what is that's the distribution channel that they're actually using to communicate to their target customers that they know. They know that, oh, my target customers are people that scroll on Instagram and that want to get stuff, so want to find good quality whatever it is that they are selling, and they're going to be able and willing to purchase. Do you understand? So that's basically them reaching their customers through leveraging Instagram as a distribution channel. So we'll talk about channels. We're like, how do you want to get your value that you've created into the hands of your customers? So I think basically for this value that we've created here, we want to look at let's see, so okay, so channels, we're going to have a website. So we want to have a a website, yeah. So we're going to have a website that people can easily, you go on our website, maybe www dot whatever the business name is. But we're also going to have a mobile app. So we're going to have a website, and we are going to have a mobile app, and that's the way we are actually going to um, deliver the value product. So basically, we're going to have a website, we're going to have a mobile app. We're probably going to have social media handles, right? So you could easily contact us straight up from our social media handles. If you chat us up from our social media handles, basically how we're going to reach your customers. So how do you reach out to them? You might also say that okay, I'm reaching my customers directly. So it might not just be you trying to only work with a mobile app or do something like that. You can also say, okay, I want to reach my customers directly. So it could be door to door engagement. So let's say for her that is just starting, there's no mobile app, there's no website currently. So let's say that the only way she can start to deliver this value now is by leveraging just social media and direct or door to door sales. So the channels that she'll be working with is, let's say, social media, creating content on social media to reach people, and also door to door sales. Now, when you're building a business, it's not a must that you must have, you must have a mobile app. It's not a must that you must have a website. All of those things will come later. But you want to look at what's the surest way that I can get my customers to start receiving value from what I do. You can also maybe she wants to do um Facebook groups. Facebook groups is where you find a lot of old people, right? So the channels is basically where are you going to reach these customers that you want to reach. You understand? So Facebook groups is a very good place for you to find, I think, any of these two target audience. Um, Facebook groups. You can find these two. Door-to-door sales, you can reach more of these people through door-to-door sales. And then social media, you can reach more of this kind of people. Other social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and the rest of them. You can use that to reach these types of people. So you want to ensure that the channels that you're outlining, you're not just listing it randomly. You're listing out those channels that you're going to be able to use to reach your particular customers. So if I use social media, can I reach corporate employees, or can I walk through their organizations? You understand? So it might be okay, instead of only just social media, I could go to organizations and say, okay, my services cost 20,000 naira a month for for anybody that wants to buy it personally. But based on your organization, I can work on a partnership with you that you can give to your employees for 15,000 naira. So let's say the company has about 100 employees. I'm trying to take your offer. You've reached your customers. You understand? So leveraging organizations is also a very good way to reach your customers. So you just need to outline what are all of the direct channels that I want to use to reach my customers. Do I want to reach them directly? Do I want to reach them with the website? There are lots of channels that you can reach your customers on. Do you understand? Remember, this is just a hypothesis. You are just laying down this hypothesis so that you can test it. When we test out this hypothesis, we come back again, we refine our business model canvas, we go out again, we test it out, we come back, we refine, and most of these things that are actually here, they are not permanent. None of them is permanent. They are going to change. Channels will change. Your value proposition would also change. Your customer segment might also change because as you keep on, working on your problem, you begin to get more insights into it. So does that make sense? Is that clear for all of us? Should we move on? Move on. Should we move along?
Yes, that's clear.
Then we'll, all right. Thank you very much. Is Omari back?
I'm here now.
Do we have Omari back? I don't think so. Is Omari here?
I'm
Okay.
here. I'm here.
All right. So is that clear? I took over since you left. But how do you want to reach your customers? Were you here when I was talking about how you can reach your customers channels?
Yeah, I came back when you were almost done talking about it, when you were talking about reaching out to organizations. What I had in mind personally was a
Yeah.
website and a mobile app.
Okay. When you're defining channels, right? Your channels is not just, there are hundreds of channels for businesses. There are hundreds of channels. There are some businesses that they only sell on live television. In America, there's what you call QVC. QVC is a live shopping stuff on TV. People buy millions of dollars whenever they are airing their shows. And there are some people that that's the only place they sell on. Do you understand? So now, when you want to define channels, you don't want to just define every random channel or every marketing channel or distribution channel that exists or the ones that you like. You need to look at what channel is going to reach these customer segments that I've actually outlined. Do you understand? So, is a young family going to be using mobile app or website? I probably don't know. But that's why it's an experiment. You go and test and test. But there's a way that you can cut down, on the number of tests that you can do by looking at similar products in your field
that your target audience are already using? Is there any similar product that people over the age of 65 is using that is on their mobile app and they use it very well? So when you get insights like that, you can use that to say, okay, I can make that assumption that if I have a mobile app, I can reach this particular customers. So if I'm able to get the mobile app, maybe corporate employees, those guys should be technical. I mean, those people should be digitalized in some way. You understand? So mobile app would be a good fit for them. So I can add mobile app here. But what I would suggest is that mobile app should be the very last thing you think about. Just that. You can think about social media for corporate employees because they're going to be going over social media. Maybe LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a very, you find a lot of corporate social corporate workers or whatever they call them. You understand? You can always find them on LinkedIn. Just look at Instagram and maybe X, Twitter, to reach those guys, right? You can also leverage organizations. So you know that this company has 200 employees, 150 employees. You say, oh, my stuff goes for 20. If they come to, you can put it that, oh, you are showing your employees, care and love, and I'll sell it to them for 15,000 naira for that package. That means they get what almost up to 25% of the cost. Do you understand? And most organizations, when you align with what they are doing, they're going to support you. You understand? They're going to support you, and you can get your stuff rolled out with them. So with them, you can get 100, depending on their their uh, their organizational size and how crucial what you're doing is for them. You also do door-to-door sales. People by the age of 65 that are sick, I'm sure most of the times they are not on social media, right? So you want to knock to doors and say, okay, hi, this is what we do. We can help you do this. We can help you do that. You talk to them. I think there's this fintech company called Register, it's owned by it's an Indian. But what they do, their key why everybody was doing social media and doing fancy graphics and trying to get more customers, uh, they were in the markets. They were going in the markets, shop to shop, to talk to customers to use their products. And currently, I just saw the news today, there are about 10,000 plus users. You understand? Before Money Point became as known as it was, Money Point was underground. Money Point did the same thing. They were going to customers. They were visiting customers in their shops and talking to them. So when we talk about door-to-door sales, it's not a local thing. The big companies that we have today, they do door-to-door sales. Do you understand? So that's also something that you can leverage to reach people that are over the age of 65 and stuff. Remember, all of these things are assumptions. They are things that you just test and see if it's working or not. And also look at your mobile app and see if your customers want mobile app. Very funny story. I had one of my colleagues, he reached out to me. So he wanted to shift one of his core business products to focus on campuses, right? And we're having a conversation. And then he told me that he has tried to force millennials to use his mobile app. And I said, no, we don't need the mobile app. We just want to be able to call you on the phone and you get us our products that we actually need. Do you understand? They tried. They tried. It doesn't mean that millennials don't use app, but they tried. A lot. They tried and tried and tried, and it did not work. Do you understand? And now they're now pivoting that whole product to focus on young people, to focus on this thing. So that's how powerful channels can be. Do you understand? So you have to test multiple channels to see which one works for your target particular customer, and you see how you can, continue making it much more efficient and much more productive. And then you have your Facebook groups. I know old people. Most people time you see on all those weird posts you see on Facebook. Share this to 25 people, and so you can always find old people, conspiracy theories, and all of them. You can find them in Facebook groups. Funny enough, they're actually active on those kinds of Facebook groups, and you can always see them having conversations. Very awkward conversations, but they do actually have conversations, and that could be a very good point for you to reach out to them on. And then we're going to look at customer relationships. So I don't know how much time do we have, coordinator? So I know how to wrap up this stuff.
Okay. So I'd say we have about 10, 15 minutes.
10, 10 to 15 minutes. So let's make it count, guys. Let's make it count. Let's make it count. So I don't think I'll be able to. Uh, there's a very, very comprehensive presentation that they have on this part. I'm just going to talk about some of these things. I'm not going to go much more in depth anymore since we don't have that much time. Okay, so let's talk about customer relationships. Has anybody ever been in a case whereby, you know, there's somebody in your street that sells something? I don't know, your parents must have probably have done this for you, or you yourself, you've done it. There's somebody that sells something close to your street, maybe close to your house, but you come out of your house, you leave that person's shop, you go somewhere far to buy the same thing. Has that happened to anybody here? Your parents or you yourself, you've done it before. Has anybody done that? Hands up, just raise your hands if that's something you've done before or you've had that experience. There's somebody selling something close by, but you pass that person and go somewhere far to actually get that thing. Has anybody had that experience? Okay, precious. The experience. Any other person has had that experience. So your parents have not sent you. People are very, very less awkward parents. Oh. Parents, your mom will send you to go to that shop that is now on that side. Why do they do that? It's because of what? Customer relationships. Do you understand? These people have built relationships, with our parents or with you as an individual, that when you want to get something, you are willing to go that extra mile. Do you understand? To be able to get that same thing. Same thing you're going to get from everywhere else, from that particular person. And that's the beauty of customer relationship. So, how do you now build your customer relationship? So, we look at for Omari's business. How can she maintain customer relationship? You understand? To ensure that her customers are happy. If our customers are happy, they're going to make referrals. They're going to talk to other people about our business. They're going to, if there's an issue, they're going to say, hey, this issue, fix it. We enjoy your business. In fact, very funny story again that happened to me. I referred a colleague to a particular product or service. So I made a reference to him, and then he started using the products. And then he came to complain to me. He was very bitter about the complaint, and I was not happy because I referred that product to him for him to start using. But there was something he said that was very crucial for me. He said he paid for the product. He paid for the product to use it, but the stuff did not do what he wanted it to do. He's been using the product for a while, but I think there was a particular issue at that point. But he's not even looking for them to refund the money. He said he believes in them that they can fix the issue and then he can work with the product. Do you know that's the kind of customer relationship that can help you solve out a lot of issues, especially when you're starting out in business. You probably cannot do it. You probably cannot deliver your value 100% because you are still learning. But building customer relationship that even if you don't meet the target, even though you don't do the 100%, that customer will say, I like you. I'll still give you another money for you to continue. Keep doing this thing for me till you get it, till you understand it. So that's how very powerful customer relationships are when you want to actually build a business, you actually want to build a product. That's how powerful customer relationships are. So, what are the kind of customer relationships, Omar, do you feel like you can build with your customers that would, ensure that they become loyal, customer loyalty? How can you keep engaging with them and interacting with them? Is Omari on this call? I don't think she is. Is Omari with us? Okay, she's gone. So we're just gonna continue. So we can create communities. So communities is one of the ways that we can ensure that we keep communicating with our customers. Create communities. So communities of this my products users in Ibadan. You understand? Before you know, this person will join the community and say, Mama Shola, are you here? Mama Tunde, are you here? Even you too, your customers begin to connect, and that reinforces your brand and value proposition. So creating communities can be a very good way. You can create physical communities. Physical communities, maybe you have your customers to interact, to engage. those communities can be, you can encourage those communities for them to manage themselves, or you can manage it directly. For example, LinkedIn Local. LinkedIn Local became a rave. It happened one time. LinkedIn did it. They introduced LinkedIn Local. And before you know, almost every state in Nigeria is doing LinkedIn Local. LinkedIn Local Lagos, LinkedIn Local Jobs, LinkedIn Local this, LinkedIn Local Enugu. All of these people are creating LinkedIn Local. And LinkedIn is not even aware of it. You understand? But these are their customers, very loyal customers, creating communities to interact, to engage, and to share experiences with themselves. So you can create these communities yourself and manage them, or you can create a kind of like a structure and brand that your customers can leverage on to create their own communities. Do you understand? So, that's one way to put it, right? So we also look at we also look at that let's say we can do online customer support for 24/7, 24 24/7, 24/7 customer support, online customer support. The customers can trust that when they have a call line, you can reach out to them ASAP. You understand? That you can reach out to them ASAP, ASAP. You understand? So uh, those are basically, channels that, what's it called? You can do this thing, create these communities, online customer support, phone call that your customers can reach you on. And there are different customer relationships. You can also do social media brand engagement. You understand? For example, if you are very active on X, on Twitter, you see a lot of people under some very influential programs. Say, MTN, you've done this to me, come and refund me my money. Or First Bank, you've done this to me, come and refund me my money. And you see those brands, they jump into action and say, oh, we are in your DM, check your DM for us to respond to you. You understand? So those are the ways for you to really engage with your customers. It's not about how do you build customer relationships, how do you build loyalty, how do you ensure that these people keep working with you, keep using your product, and are not afraid to give you feedback on those products. Because when you collect more feedback, the much more better your product gets. Then next, we're going to look at revenue streams. A lot of people are very uncomfortable with making money. A lot of entrepreneurs are very, very uncomfortable with making money. They don't like making money. They feel like making money is a crime. You understand? So please, even if, like I said earlier along, even if you are a not for profit, the people you are going to hire will not follow you to do not for profit. You understand? The people that you are going to, the products that you are going to use to do your non-profit activity, they're not going to say we too we are not for profit. If you use Zoom calls to do your host your not for profit meeting, it's not going to be. For example, Zoom is 40 minutes for a free plan, but we've been here for over an hour, so this is not free. But you guys are free, meaning that the founders and the administrators behind Foundhercity, they had a model that they have structured. So even though it's non-profit, to ensure that it's sustainable. So whether you are not for profit, whether you're a social enterprise, whether you're for profit, there has to be revenue streams. Streams might be donations, but how do you ensure that you can accurately calculate that, oh, we can get 10 million naira in donations every year and get those 10 million naira continuously coming in and doesn't drop. Meaning that sometimes you have to go to physical engagements, you have to do online ads. Facebook is not going to tell you, oh, I see that you're not for profit. So because of you want to run ads to promote a not for profit thing, we're not going to collect a dime for you. Facebook doesn't do that. They're going to collect their money. So even if you're a not-for-profit company, you are still going to spend money. And when you spend money and there's nowhere money is coming in from, it is just a matter of time. Your not-for-profit dream is going to go down the drain. So don't say, oh, want to talk about revenue stream. Let me go and eat now because it has come to revenue stream and I don't want to make money. That means you don't want to build a business, you don't want to build an organization, whether it's a profit. goal, not the profit. Okay, so moving on to revenue streams. So if Omari was here, she would tell us how she was going to make money. Because she's not here to tell us how she's going to make money, I'm going to assume that I know how she wants to make money. So, student, remember, all of these things are just assumptions. So, revenue streams, I think she's going to probably charge a monthly subscription plan for for a monthly subscription plan for access to bulk services or kind of like. So instead of these people hiring, you know, one electrician and then coming in to hire a plumber, they're probably to hire somebody that goes on an errand, they just pay a monthly subscription. So they pay a monthly subscription. Maybe it's 20,000 naira monthly. Maybe it's 30,000 naira monthly. I don't know. I'm not even being precise. Maybe it's 100,000 naira monthly. They can come here different tiers. You understand? But you kind of like put aside that if you buy this one of 15K monthly, anything that has to do with in time inside your house maintenance, aside from buying materials, is actually going to be covered on this your subscription. So if there's a leak, if there's a faulty electricity, we got you covered. If there's a if there's a faulty pipe, we got you covered. All you just need to do is place us a call and we get the right technician, state the problem you need. We're going to refer the right technician to actually get to your house to solve that problem for you. So she will say, okay, aside from subscription, we're going to take commission. We're going to what's it called? We're going to take we're going to charge um, we're going to charge transaction fee for the for the tax.
Okay, good afternoon. Can anyone hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes.
Yes,
Yes, we can hear
ma'am.
you.
Okay, I think our facilitators network, you know, broke up. So we'll be sharing the attendance link shortly to the meeting chat. So please make sure you fill the attendance. But we're about rounding up as well. We'll just hold on a bit so he's able to finish the session. I trust the session has been great.
Yes, it is. I have a few
Yes, it
questions
has.
though.
Okay. Please save your questions. Is hopefully he's going to be able to join back very soon, and you can address them. And we will definitely still have our office hour tomorrow. So in case we have other things that we want to address, we can also do that. So we'll be sharing the attendance link shortly.
Hello everyone. I'm audible.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello guys, can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yes.
can hear you.
Yes, sorry, my Wi-Fi just disconnected. I'm back. Um, so when somebody wants to tell me what was the last thing I said, I don't post on the slides, so I didn't know if you guys said
So you were talking about revenue streams, how to generate revenue for the business, and you mentioned monthly subscription plans and charging commissions for services on the platform.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So let's get back into that. So I just realized that. So Omare, are you going to be the one delivering this tax, or you're going to be also getting in other people that's going to be completing this tax, right? There are going to be other people completing the tax. Is that the assumption we're working with?
Sorry, can you come again, please?
There are other people that are going to be delivering the tax. So, for example, if I need an electrician, you have to have an electrician on board, correct? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, that's correct.
All right. So basically, that means our customer segments are not yet complete. So there's lesser space for. We're going to have to add a customer segment, for those people too that are going to deliver the tax. Are they going to be students? Are they going to be non-students? What are their characteristics? And then you're also going to add their own value propositions, how you reach out to them on. Do you understand? But for now, you can create you can have their own business model canvas separate to be able to reach out to them so that this one doesn't get messy. But what I'm working with here is just for the people that are going to be paying the money. So you would also have to have a second business model canvas that focuses on the people that are doing the tasks and the objectives. They're also going to have their own value proposition, the channels that you're going to reach out to them on, customer relationships, and all of those things, and how you make money from them. Are you going to charge them also, or you're not going to make any money from them? So you're going to have that second business model canvas. So revenue streams is always sharp to have at least at your beginning journey. Do not have so much revenue streams. Two, three marks is good, or even one. One, if you have just one, it's fine because it helps you really focus down on your product and helps you, get things started. So you could charge a monthly subscription plan. So instead of hiring one electrician, if I hire the one electrician and the electrician comes, I can just get that electrician number and don't return to your platform anymore. I've gotten an electrician already. You understand? But if I have that is in bulk, you understand? I can get electrician, plumber, anybody at any time. There's no delay. So I don't have to wait for this particular electrician to come back from work. He went to do the maybe fireplace before that person gets to do my work. You understand? I can just pay that on the subscription plan and access all of these services that you provide. Then that's very nice. You also have 20% transaction fee. Another way you could make money, there are a lot of ways to make money. In fact, making money is not the issue when you have the right products that people want. So you also make money by selling to organizations. You understand? So uh, yearly contracts for medium for organizations or businesses for organizations. So yearly contracts for organizations. So yearly contracts for organizations could be a way to make money. So they pay you 20 million naira a year or 10 million naira a year, and they are rest assured you handle all of the small tasks in the office, little things, clean up, all of those things. There are a lot of people that have these kinds of contracts. For some people, they don't even have much customers. They just have only one customer that probably gives them like 20 or 15 million naira in a year, and they are fine. That's their whole business. They don't even do any other thing. They just have one customer, and it's that customer they have been serving for a long time. You understand? So that's another way to look at it. So, guys, is this clear? Are we together? Does anybody want to ask any question before we move into the next phase?
I have a question. I have two actually. I was actually waiting for the end of the session to do that.
Okay.
But I think you've been able to, I mean, read my question. The second question I was supposed to ask, and it's towards the revenue streams. So, when you started, you said some entrepreneurs do not like to make money. Um, in my own case, the question is more like, take Figma, for example. Figma is a practical example I'd like to use in this situation. When Figma started, they started as a free tool. I think they were free for like a year before they introduced paid plans into their structure. And as of this moment, they are worth over $12 billion, I think. But they didn't start up with, you know, including ways on how they can make money from the beginning. So my question is like, don't you think for startups or entrepreneurs, in as much as it's important to make money for the sustainability of the business, value should actually come first? I feel like if we've been able to, you know, um, really give good value, money would naturally flow in because it will be in high demand and you'll be exposed to options on how you can actually, generate income. But I mean, if you've not built trust from your potential customers, generating income immediately might not even, happen, even if it's in place. So, do you think I am right, or would you like to maybe, I don't know, say something to what I just said?
All right. Hear me? I'm
I can
audible.
hear
Can you guys hear me?
you. Yeah, I can hear
All
you
right.
now.
Okay. So by the very nature of building a startup, right? Because there's a difference between building a startup and building a small medium business, right? Because I think we have a mixture of both here. There are people that are building their small businesses, there are people that are building startups. You understand? And by definition, startups are outliers. Do you understand? Startup, by very definition of building a startup, you are building something that can scale. When we talk about scale, is that something that the more you get more people into to use your product, the lesser the cost it actually takes you to. For example, if you have a makeup artist that wants to do makeup, she can only serve a certain amount of people in a day. Meaning that for her to increase the income that she gets, she has to probably work twice as hard that she would normally work, which might reduce the quality of her work, or she raise prices. So some of the big time makeup artists that you see, they don't necessarily have thousands of customers. They just have customers that they serve at a very high cost. And that's what covers a lot for them. So when you look at startups now, it's not a it's not a yes, you have to start charging from day one, and it's not a no, you can still move without charging from day one. But what we're saying is that you need to have a plan, some sort of plan that okay, this is how I believe that this is going to make money. Unless you are somebody that has very high human credibility, because as a startup, you probably want to raise funding from investors to build your business. So imagine you're coming to tell investor like, oh, I don't know how we're going to make money, but I just want to build this thing and hopefully people are going to use it. It doesn't make any sense to anybody. Nobody's going to give that money except you're Elon Musk. So when you're the kinds of levels of Elon Musk, the kinds of levels of the big guys that have done a lot of things, they already have their human credibility. They don't need, most of them, you see them get funding without even building a website. Why? Because those people are not even betting on the product. They are betting on the founders themselves as an individual because those are very exceptional, talented people. So the times where you can escape with some of these things that all of these other guys have done is when you have a lot of credibility. So if you have funding from the get-go, we are able to raise funding that can help you last you for the next 12 to 18 months without even charging your customers. Then it makes sense that you can keep your product for free, charge experiment, and when you see your product start, your customers start using your product frequently and more, then you can now start to charge them. But it doesn't make any sense if you cannot even survive month one and you want to give a free product. Who's going to fund your cost? Who's going to fund your bills? Meaning that the free product cannot even be free anymore. You can't even deliver it for free. So there's somewhat of a scaled down version of your main value proposition that you can be able to give for free. For example, let's say, okay, for Omare's business that we are looking at, she could say, "Hey, I'm going to help you do the first five tasks that you want to do for free." Because what she's estimating is that by the time this person uses us for the first time, the second time, the third time, the fourth time, and then they use us for the fifth time, they were sure that we're going to be, when we charge them moving forward, they're going to be customers. So using a free approach can be a way to gain a lot of customers faster, for you to grow your customer base, but you need to have a monetization plan in vogue because that's going to determine what kind of customers you bring in. Do you understand? Because if you bring in customers that there are 100,000 of them, and at the end of the day, they cannot pay for your products, it means that you can stay 10 years and you're still not going to make one single 5 naira out of that business. So, what I'm saying to answer your question is, can you build a business by giving a product for free first? Yes, you can, but it is not sustainable. The only way it can be sustainable a bit is when you have funding that can last you for a long period of time till when you can now start making money. If you go to Tech Cabal, if you go to Tech Crunch, you see startups that run out of money. Some of their products were free to use. Some of them they were even charging for it, but they were not making enough money for them to survive. They raised millions of dollars. How many of us know what's this platform? Uh, is this bookkeeping app? Keeper. Keeper was free. They had over 500,000 customers that were using their products for free. You don't pay a dime. But the platform has shut down after how many years? Because it is not sustainable. So, except you have very good funding, your business is growing exceptionally. Investors will look at, oh, okay, let's not disrupt this growth with charging customers now. Let's keep on growing it. But they want to ensure that you have a plan that you are actually going to make money. If there's no plan, they forget about it. But if there's a plan, you say, okay, by the time we get 10,000 customers, we're going to start charging $1, $2 per month, and we're going to make this amount of money, then that's fine. So you need to have the plan. You might not start it now, but you need to have that plan for how you want to make money. Secondly, if you don't have funding, when I started my startup, my new startup, I closed deals. We didn't have products, no websites, nothing. But I went out, talked to people, closed out this secured contract. And that alone will tell you that your business is more valuable. If somebody is willing to pay for your solution, even without it being its finest and best, that tells you a lot that that problem is very important. If somebody can bring out money, their hard-earned money, to say, okay, take for your solution, and your solution is not as fine as whatever it is, that means you are solving the core problem. So charging your customers is a way for you to validate should you spend your time. Because there are a lot of people that they will spend time building a lot of things, and at the end of the day, they want to charge for it. Nobody wants to pay for it. The product is fine, sleek, website is clean, the user experience is out of this world, but you don't pay for it. Check the stuff you use on your phone. There are a lot of free things that you use for your phone that immediately they start charging you for it, you stop using it. So you need to have a strategy. Why another approach can look at it is maybe your customers are not the ones to pay for your product. For example, Facebook does not ask you to pay. You use it for free. That does not mean Facebook is not making money. They're making billions of dollars, but you are not the customer. You think you are the customer, but you are not the customer. In fact, you yourself, you are the product. You are the what they are selling to the customers. So that's my summary for how you can look at making money. Have a plan on how you want to make money. That is absolutely non negotiable. Have some sort of plan. Number two, if you don't have funding to take it for 12 months that you can give your business out for free, then start charging for your product. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you so much.
So looking at revenue streams, so let's say this is what Omar is going to be testing out to see what the revenue streams are going to look like. So we have monthly subscription plan, 20% transaction fee. All of these things, remember, they are all hypotheses that we're still going to go out to test. It's not permanent, but this helps you put your ideas together, put it in some sort of way, and then you can now go and test out these things. Then we look at key resources. What are the key resources that Omara is going to need to be able to deliver this product or service? What are those key resources that she's going to need? If she wants to serve all of these customers, leverage all of these channels to distribute the product, maintain all of these customer relationships, what are those key resources that she's actually going to need? So we could say human capital. Human capital is one of them. Omare, do you have a team? Omare, do you have a team? Is she here? Okay, I don't think she is. So human capital, you have a team. So we have a team who is going to code the mobile app, who is going to manage the social media, who is going to be posting on Facebook groups, who is going to do door to door to talk to customers, who is going to build the mobile app. All of those things are human capital. So you talk about cloud costs. So you look at key resources like capital or grants, whatever one, capital grants, funding, whatever. So access on human capital, she needs grants or a capital or some sort of working capital to start get started. Do you understand? Maybe 50K, maybe 100K to start traveling, to going to these people's houses, to knock on their doors and talk to them. Maybe print small cards that she has to put together to 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 talk to her customers about her products. Do you understand? Another thing, she's also going to need workers. She's going to need okay, that falls under the human capital. So under this human capital, we have team members and tax deliverers. I believe, what do you call them? Or tax employees. So I want to define these tax employees as those people that are going to be doing all of those tax that those customers are putting in. So tax employees, those are going to be doing the electricity and all of this stuff. They don't necessarily need to be your team employees, but your team, you have your team members and you have all of these tax employees. For example, my startup, we work with student marketers across over 25 plus campuses. Do you understand? So those are part of our key resources that we actually need to be able to deliver this value proposition. And then, so you just need to list out what are all of those resources that you need to make your solution 10 times cheaper, also to be able to solve all of these pain points that have been outlined here to deliver that basically. So those are those key resources that have been outlined that's actually going to be crucial to be able to deliver those things. Then we move on to the key activities, right? Key activities will be basically, what are you going to be doing, right? What are you going to be doing to ensure that you put all of these things together? What are you going to be doing, right? What are those areas that you need to be good at to create value for your customers? If you cannot recruiting those tax people that will do the tax. If you select bad people, they will do a bad work. You select people that are to steal from your customers and they're going to spoil your brand. They're going to spoil your customers' homes. They're going to steal all of those things. So Omara would have to be good at, you know, recruiting, recruiting the workers. She has to be good at that. She needs to be able to screen them. She needs to be able to evaluate them. She needs to be able to rank their competence. She cannot recruit the workers. None of this work. So those key activities are what are those areas that you need to be good at to be able to fully deliver on your value proposition. Our team has to be good on creating to be able to manage their social media presence. So manage and engagement. So remember, one of our key channels of distribution is social media, right? So you need to be very good at managing your social media presence, engaging with potential customers, putting out content that relates to their customers to ensure that they can keep on getting more customers. Do you understand? What are other key activities that they need to be doing? Maybe they need to be good at developing a seamless platform, a seamless online platform. That's also something that their team needs to be good at. If their platform is not seamless, if people are always complaining about their mobile app, people cannot use their mobile app, nobody's going to use it, right? So those key activities, recruiting the workers, managing your social media presence and engagement, developing a seamless online platform, those are those crucial key activities, making use of the key resources that she has to be able to, deliver on this value proposition through these channels for this customer segment and maintaining these relationships. You understand? So then we're also going to look at the the key partnerships. Hmm. What are the key partnerships that needs to be there? What are the key partnerships that needs to be there? What are those key partnerships that needs to be there? Because without key partnerships, what are those partners that she needs to leverage to be able to, you know, get these things together? What are those key partners? For example, remember we talked about organizations can work with organizations to reach their customers. So, um, so just make a copy of this. She can work with organizations. So partner with organizations to reach their members. So she can partner with National Organization of Tech Workers, if there's something like that. National Organization of Pregnant Women, because pregnant women, they have a lot of needs, and if their husbands are very actively working, they find it difficult to be able to do all of those things. If you can partner with those organizations, you can leverage those organizations to reach more of their target customers and give it to those people at discount. You look at other key partnerships like I'd say key partnerships like so yeah, those are some of the partnerships that I'll look at to be able to do these things like reaching organizations to reach their members. And then the last cost structure. What is the cost? What is actually going to cost you money, right? What is actually going to cost you money? Because all of these things are not for free. We're on Zoom, just like I mentioned earlier. It's not free. You get it's not free. They're paying money for the Zoom. Do you understand? Probably they have to do some others. They're paying money for all of those things. And we need to include that in the cost. You understand? Because if I want to deliver this value for these particular people, what would that cost look like to be able to deliver on that value? What is that cost going to be looked at? There are two types of cost. There's the fixed cost and there's the variable cost. Fixed cost is that once you spend this cost, you're not spending it again, or unless it depreciates and it loses value. For example, if she's going to have a warehouse, maybe a warehouse whereby she stores home appliances and stuff that our customers are going to need. So maybe they're going to need an electrician to change a bulb, and then she not only gets them those electricians, she delivers those bulbs. Do you understand? So she might probably get a warehouse. If she builds the warehouse, it becomes a fixed cost. If she uh, if she rents the warehouse, it becomes a variable cost because it's cost that keeps on coming up and coming up. So there are two types of cost. There's the fixed cost and there's the variable cost. Fixed cost is once you spend it, you spent it. Cars, vans, and stuff like that. So I think for this model, you look at what are those things that are actually going to cost us here to be able to deliver on this model? What are those things that are going to cost us? Maybe we're going to look at allowance for team members. So maybe she's able to get these people to believe in her vision and she's not paying them salary, but she's paying them an allowance. So that's going to be a cost for her to be able to get all of these people on board to do all of these things for her. So if you get allowance for team members, you'll be able to cover the mobile app, the social media, and even people that are going to do door-to-door sales. Let me assume that she also gets in another partner. So if she gets in another partner, she might not even need to get this allowance. Do you understand? So if you think about it from the level where you are, do you understand? You don't need to start writing. For example, they ask you write what your business needs. You write something of 20 billion naira. No, you look at what is the minimum amount of cost that I actually need to be able to run this business model that I actually currently have. So I think from what I'm seeing here, there's not much cost. If I'm looking at this from the startup perspective, if you're able to get allowance for team members, then you can get a lot of these other things done. So I don't think she would need to get a physical land or a van or any of those things to be able to do that. So another key partnership that I also look at is, so remember that she's connecting homeowners to people that are going to do all of these tasks. And sometimes it's not just repairs. They might need to buy these appliances. Maybe somebody wants to change a bulb. They might need to buy this bulb. So she can even partner with large home appliance or home appliance um, um, sellers or something like that. If you partner with them, you can get that product at a discount, or you can get their product at no cost. They give you an advance, and when you sell through your channel, as electricians are going to repair stuff, they buy the bulb, you give them the bulb. As plumbers are going to fix this thing, you give them the pipe. All of these things, you can partner with these large organizations to actually, to deliver on the value. So this is an initial business model canvas that you can now start testing out to see and removing and adding things. So I'm just going to the last slide that I have here. Um, so I'm just going to go to the last slide I have here so we can wrap up now. So much time. So how do you know your business model works? How do you know your business model works? How do you know it works? Um, so we're going to test it out. So for example, we have corporate employee. How many corporate employee do you know that lives in Ibadan that you can talk to? So Omari would have to start getting to know people, start talking to people to see, oh, is this a problem that you have? Would you pay this amount for me to fix this stuff for you and you don't have to worry about it? Or what concerns would you have to be able to? So you need to start talking to customers about the problems that they have and offering them a solution and see if they take it. So she was talking to 20, maybe 100 of these corporate employees, and they're like, oh, we have it handled. We probably have a sibling in our house that does all of those things, or probably have a girlfriend that, I don't know, but people that have a girlfriend that handles all of those things. So I don't need your solution. So she can say, okay, I don't think corporate employee is going to work. I'm going to take that out, and maybe I'm going to focus on single living parents, and that becomes my target market. So that's basically, I won't be able to jump into all of these things now because we're really out of time. But I do hope you've gotten the core of building a business model canvas. Do you understand? Then key checks that you have to check is problem solution fit. For some of you, your problem is one thing, your solution is another thing. Do you understand? Maybe you want to add AI by force. Your problem doesn't actually need AI, but you feel like you want to add AI because AI is the trendy thing, or you want to add blockchain because blockchain is the trendy thing. I've had people talk to me, especially on blockchain. They do that a lot on blockchain. Why are you building this on blockchain? I just like it on. I'm just in the blockchain space, and I like it on blockchain. So that's not to say that they're not very blockchain is not solving key problems, but do not focus on the technology, focus on the problem. Ensure that the solution is answering the problem, and not the solution is one way off, the problem is another way off. Do you understand? And then also check for market solution fit. Market solution fit. If you are going to assume that, oh, I'm going to be charging these people 5,000 naira, and you're charging somebody that is earning 2,000 naira every month, it's definitely not going to work, even if you have 10 million of them. So back to the question that Blessing asked, you understand whether you can do, if you know that you're having customers that you can charge them up to 20,000 naira, 30,000 naira, do you understand? And they can pay. to cost 3,000 naira, 2,000 naira. So your assumption is that okay, these people would have no issues to pay, provided they see the value. Do you understand? So that's when it makes sense that you can get in a lot more people on a free plan without even so much charging them. But let them know that you are actually going to charge them, and they don't assume that it's just for free forever. Do you understand? So market solution fit. Can your market, the market you're targeting,
Okay,
fit
no.
the solution? Do you understand? So
Boy, you have a packet.
so if you basically have, for example, I've not seen somebody saying something.
Adeleke, you are not muted. Oh, má aṣọ tí màá fi pọ́n. Kò sáṣọ bí aṣọ yẹn tutù.
Uh, I really
Mo
don't.
ń bọ̀.
Uh,
Adeleke, can you mute? Adeleke Ogunlade. Oh, Olúnlẹ̀.
okay.
Adeleke Ogunlade. Please mute yourself. Idiot.
I didn't care not with us. She's far. So just to wrap up, basically, market solution fits. That's it. Market solution fits. I don't think that I've not seen where in the university they are selling cars. The cars. So like somebody's coming to share flyer to students to say buy your car. Do you understand? Because the market, it's not like if those people are not going to buy cars in the future, but or there are no students that don't have cars, but that is not a viable market for car dealers to start advertising cars that they want to sell. Yes, there are students that have cars. Yes, there are students that buy cars. Is that a viable market? No. So that's where you talk about market solution fit. And then, most importantly, what a lot of founders ignore is founder market fit. Founder market fit. Can you talk to the market? Can you market? Do you have connections into the market? For example, it's easier for you as a student to sell to other students because you understand the market, you understand the challenges. You know that in the exam period, you don't need to bring it. Let's say you sell clothes. During exam period, those people that sell clothes, they don't bring in more clothes because they know that students are busy and they're more focused on exams. Do you understand? So that's what I mean. Do you even have the problem yourself that you want to solve? If you have the problem yourself that you want to solve, then that is key. So check for problem solution fit. Look at your business model canvas. Does it fit the problem I want to solve? Check for market solution fit. If I'm going to be charged amount of money, if they can pay for it, you're checking in market solution fit. Do you understand? For example, on this market solution fit, your problem, your solution might be solving the problem, but it might not be solving the whole problem. For example, um, I'll say cleaning agencies, right, is solving problem for organizations. But there are kinds of cleaning agencies that not all of them can serve large organizations because there's a sort of structure that they expect for them to be able to work with you. So the fact that the customer has a problem does not mean that they'll use your solution because your solution might just be solving an aspect of the problem, but not the whole problem. So also check for founder market fit. So once again, my name is Perfection I Reward. It's a very unique name, I know. If you like the name so much, you can probably name somebody else after me and tell me that you named somebody else after me. It's gonna appreciate it. If you want me to review your business model canvas, the time, so my time is tight, but I can take a few. You can send me a message on WhatsApp 234-812-332-0439. Right. And please do something. Don't just come to me from beginning and say, "Oh, I've not done my business model canvas. I want you to start from beginning." I'm definitely not going to do that. Prepare your business model canvas, and I'm going to give you my 2 cents on it. I know we've extended much more than the time, but I think this is a very critical foundation that needs to